everyone, my name is Brandy Martinez and this is my Module 1 video. Okay, so first going to start off with a little bit of information about me. So I've been married for 4 years. That's a picture of my husband and I. I'm raising 2 beautiful babies, a picture of my beautiful babies. I'm a cat lover, picture of my cat. Gym is my me time. That's like my therapy. It's what I enjoy doing so much, like one of my hobbies. And then I am a Dodge City, Kansas native. So I currently live in Dodge City and I went to school in Dodge City. So I am in a unique position to kind of know a lot about my school and my district. A little bit about me professionally. So I will be entering the 7th year of teaching this upcoming year. I received my bachelor's in education from Wichita State University. I received my master's in English to speakers of other languages from Fort Hays State University. And then currently I'm trying to receive my endorsement in building leadership from Fort Hays State as well. I taught first grade. I student taught first grade, and that's really where the love of teaching came. I always thought I was going to be teaching K through 2, but God had different plans for me. And then I moved up to 5th grade, where I started my first year of teaching, and I taught there for 2 years. I then moved up to 6th grade, where I've been teaching for 4 years, and going to enter my 5th year teaching. I currently teach the Connect class, which is like a computer applications class, and I'm a part of the Building Leadership Team 21st Century Skills PLC leader. I've been a mentor teacher, and I'm also a part of the multiplier team. So gonna dive into these different themes. So school level governance, I saw a few different things in here. Based off of the articles, so centralized versus decentralized budgeting, which is centralized is where all of those budgetary decisions are left up to one person or one individual, and then decentralized, where the building principals are given a lot more power and empowered to make decisions about where to allocate resources. Student-based student-based budgeting is where this type of system allocates resources based off of individual needs. They aim to promote equity, transparency, and flexibility. School-based management gives autonomy to site leaders as well, so kind of like with decentralized. And it is important to note that all of our funding comes from different places. So 40% comes from state, 44 is through property taxes, and then 8% comes from federal money. So my district seems to employ a decentralized budgeting system as well as an SBM. I feel as though our building principals had a lot of say on what our budget is spent on, and they also give teachers the power to decide what they're going to use their budget on. Student and adult success and well-being. So per pupil funding improves outcomes. There's really no other way to say that, but if we are wanting our students to succeed, then we need to give more money to each of them and spend more money for each of them. The well-being of teachers is also something that is extremely important, and I feel like this is something that I've seen firsthand our building principals spend money on and prioritize. They've treated us to different types of things, whether that is tacos from a taco truck on a PD day to a spa day for conferences. They just really pour into us as teachers, and I feel like the rationale is that if they're pouring into our teachers, then they are going to in turn see teachers pouring into students and pouring into their job. Next, talking about data-informed decisions. So some of the questions that we need to ask: how many and which students have had attendance problems, which students have left and aren't likely to return, and grade by grade, how are students doing academically? So these types of data points are going to give us some insight on where we need to spend our budget and where resources need to be given to. Making sure that there's a feedback loop, that all the data that we are collecting is being relayed to stakeholders, because that's a really important part of data in itself. We always hear about data and its importance, but once again, making sure that we are relaying that to stakeholders is probably the most important part. Equitable resource plans. So, student based budgeting is equitable because it is really thinking about the individual needs of students and allocating resources according to that. The budget should also be aligned with the strategic action plan of the building. I feel like all of the budgets in our school district should not be the same because we all have different needs. All of our students, all of our buildings, every site has a different need. So they shouldn't be all the same. So it should be really important for us to assign and give budgets to the specific needs of each building. Finance laws, policies, and regulations. So, different types of funding, operational, the day to day, everything that the school needs to run, staffing entitlements. So, making sure that all teachers are being paid what they need to be paid, and making sure that once again that budget is aligned with the school's strategic action plan. Federal funding programs, so Title I, English language acquisition, Reading First, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and then Improving Teacher Quality Grants, all different things that I'm sure we've all heard of before. And then Every Student Succeeds Act, really making sure that the budget is transparent and that all financial accounts are transparent so that stakeholders know where their money is going to. So, other themes, and really the biggest theme that I saw as I was reading these articles, is that principals know best. They're in a unique position to know what's best for the schools, but they also need proper finance training. So, once again, this is a theme that was across everywhere, but the people or the principals need to be in a position where they know what's going on in their school. They need to be effective principals so they can make the best decisions for schools. So, a little bit of my reflection is that I really was not aware of how much of the budget a principal has control over and how much of them is asked to prepare that budget. I don't think I really think about the financial side of school too much in my position as a teacher, but something that I need to be aware that I need to think about if I want to or when I become a building principal. Um, it takes time to prepare a budget, and I need to make sure that I know everything that I'm going to need. It also made me aware that I need to be more financially literate so that whenever I do become a building principal, I know how to deal with those finances. I would want to be as informed as possible when I become a building principal. But as one of the articles stated, many principals learn about the finances side of the position during the course of the year. So, as they are tackling on that first year. So, some things I could do, I could begin having conversations with my building principal to gather information about what they deal with so that I have a firsthand account of their experience with the financial side of the position. I feel like this is something that is doable because my building principal already knows that I'm on the path of building leadership. So, I feel like this is an open conversation I could have with them about finances. So, thank you so much for listening to my presentation. These are my resources. Have a great rest of your day.